Good morning, everybody. I think we're live. Yes, we are. Let's just turn the volume down on that. Hi, good morning. Just give everyone a moment to find the live. Here we are. And if you are joining in to watch today, whether you are here live or on replay, please make sure you say hello. Hi, Lynn. I see you watching. Hello. Good to have you here. I see Myra. G'day, Myra. Good to see you. Alrighty, folks. I'll keep my phone. Where am I going to keep it? Keep it over here. So hopefully that is streaming okay. Oops. Something seems to keep happening in the background with my Facebook streaming. I'm not sure what's going on, but anyway, let's dive in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. For anybody who is new here to my group or doesn't know who I am, I'm Karen. I'm the Plant Power Coach. I am whole food plant-based certified health coach, life coach, and I help people achieve their ideal health and body weight with the power of my plants acronym, a plant-based diet, and a few other beautiful habits that help with sustainability and long term. I see. Hi, Mara. You're in Florida. Oh, lucky you. Just coming into springtime. Nice. Hi, Ursula. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Lisa. Thanks for watching us, guys. All right. So you've probably, sorry, what are we talking about today? Today we're talking about why undereating can actually slow your weight loss efforts. So I keep hearing this, being touted all around the place with weight loss, general weight loss advice. It's, just eat less and move more. And it's just calories in, calories out. And it's usually like the go-to advice for most people. And you know what? It sounds logical. And yes, most people, if they want to lose weight, do actually have to eat less. They do actually have to put less food or less energy into their bodies because, if we're overeating, that means we'll be gaining weight. So therefore, we need to eat less so that we can go into a calorie deficit and we can release or use that excess weight for energy. But I'm here to say to you that the extreme opposite, undereating, is not the sustainable way to lose body fat. All right. So that shit is not just outdated, it's backfiring on your body. And especially if you're a woman in your 40s and your 50s and beyond. All right. And also, especially if you've been dieting for years, like if you've been on a roller coaster of up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, especially if you are in that perimenopausal or postmenopausal phase of your life as well, when your hormones are shifting through your body. There's lots of different stuff going on inside of your body. Because here's what really happens. When you are eating too little for your body's daily energy needs, you're not actually creating weight loss, you're creating stress for your body. So I want you to think about it like this. Back in the days of early human evolution, food was scarce, right? They didn't have this abundant food world that we have today. And so the human beings, or the versions of human beings who survived through these times of food famine, through food scarcity, they were the ones who were able to adapt the best to their environment and not die. So it means that their metabolisms, their bodies, were able to adapt to a lower energy intake in order to keep them alive. And so our body's programming is still working with that ancient survival code encrypted into it. And there's nothing we can do about that. I'm sorry. We can't just like re-engineer our genetic codes that way. No, we want our body. This is a survival mechanism. We want our body to be able to survive. And also, I want you to like, we get really scared of the word calories. Well, what is a calorie? It's a unit of energy. It's um it's just energy that we put into our body. And our body is like, it's like a mobile phone. It needs charge, right? You charge it till it's full, and then it's got enough battery, and then it goes till it's empty. But unlike our human phone, well, like our human phone, like not our human phone, like our phone, our human body needs constant topping up. And we need constant energy into our body so that our body can actually do what it's supposed to do. We have a bare amount of energy that our body actually needs on a daily basis. Hi guys, say hi if you're watching. Hi Sue. Our body has a daily, like a base amount of calories or energy that it requires, that it actually burns on a daily basis just to keep you alive. And for many women, that a bare minimum amount can be like 12 to 1500 calories, depending on your size. If you're very little, you might only need about 1200 calories, but that's if you're a very little person. If you're a much larger person, then your base metabolic needs might be 1400, 1500, 1600 calories. And this is just the bare minimum that your body actually needs to get in, just to keep you alive, keep you functioning without any exercise, without any movement even. This is just things like keeping your heart pumping, your lungs breathing, your cells doing what they do to, repair and multiply and, create, new hair and skin. And it's to keep your organs functioning, your hormones working properly. Right. And all of the other basic functions within our body. Like, this is the base amount of calories that your body needs in if you were lying in a coma. And most people don't realize this. That's what we call our base metabolic rate. And then we need more fuel on top of that for just our daily movement, like waving of the hands while we're talking, for speaking, for blinking our eyes, for walking, for moving, for being up in the kitchen and doing the things and doing the housework and just the basic daily movement. So here's how we get it wrong when it comes to just trying to maybe do more exercise and eat less. We try and manipulate the energy output by exercising more, thinking that we're going to burn more calories. And yeah, like we will in the moment, not a huge amount more. We'll burn a few more. If that exercise is intense and your heart rate is high, then you're going to be burning more glucose, not fat. And we think that, if I burn more fuel, then my body will tap into the fat stores. No, it doesn't. It just goes, where's all the glucose? I need that. And that's my high energy burning fuel. And then it becomes very hungry for you to replace that glucose. And so what do? You eat more food. You've got to replace that fuel. So likelihood is you're going to eat more. Let me show you a graph, actually. I am going to pull this out. Actually, yes. Let me show you a graph for a moment. Sorry, I'm just going to pull a few things around here, change a few things so that I can see my screens better. Sorry, I've got things in the way. I'm trying to just move things around. Here we go. I want this one to show. This is the one I want to show. There, that's the one I want to show. Okay, calorie balance. Can you see that on the screen okay? I'm just trying to see if you can see what I see on my phone. Yeah, there we go. All right. So here's what most people try and do when it comes to weight loss. They try and go, let's manipulate this 5% here. And we're going to eat more, we're going to do more exercise to burn more fat. But what the body says is, okay, you've exercised more. I need more fuel to fuel that. This is our energy in. This is our energy out. Actually, let me take it back and start by showing you what our energy in is. Obviously the calories that we take in, the food that we eat on a daily basis. This, I'm just saying, this is our standard meals that we eat here on a regular basis. I'm not putting any numbers against any of these, any number of calories against any of these, but let's just say we have the amount of food that we generally eat on a daily basis. And here are a few things that can add to that. Poor sleep. Poor sleep can add about 300 extra calories, 200 to 300 extra calories per day. Dehydration, if you're dehydrated, your body will ask for more food, you'll get more cravings, so you'll eat more. If you're emotional eating, well, that could be anywhere between there and there. Right? That's going to add a big whack more of calories. And if you've got any mindless eating habits, well, there you go. That's like mindless snacking. You're not actually hungry, but you're just eating it because it's there, because it was given to you, because, it's morning tea time, whatever. Right? And you can suddenly see where we go into a caloric surplus here. This is the difference between our energy in versus our energy out. So let's just say you're not doing any of these things. You are eating the right amount of food, you're getting good sleep, you're not dehydrated, you're drinking plenty of water, you're not an emotional eater, you're not a mindless eater, you're just trying to work out the other side. Most people go, now let's look at the energy output. The energy output is roughly made up of 60% of your energy output is roughly made up of that. Roughly 60% is made up of the base requirements to keep you alive, the things that I just talked to you about, the keeping your lungs breathing, your heart pumping, your cells multiplying and repairing and growing, you're keeping your bones strong, all of those basic functions that keep you alive. Okay, that's the base metabolic rate. Your base metabolic rate is also influenced by the amount of muscle mass that you have on your body, because muscle requires energy, it requires calories to keep it alive. Then we have about 25% of our energy output being non-exercise activity. This is, the blinking of the eyes, the waving of the hands, the talking, the general movement around our day. It includes walking up and down the stairs, taking the stairs instead of the elevator. It means, it's the extra movement we get when we park further away and walk. So it's all of this in here, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Then we have around 10% of our energy output is the thermic effect of food, i.e. the energy that is required by our body just to digest the food that we eat. And then 5% is the exercise. So here's where a lot of people look when they want to try and lose weight. I'm going to exercise more and eat less. I mean, it sounds logical, right? But what happens when you exercise more? Like I said, you are burning glucose as fuel, more likely. And so when your body burns glucose, it wants that back. It wants you to eat more because it goes, well, we just need that. We need to replace that. So you end up eating more food. So that doesn't actually really work. If you end up doing something then that's if you're doing the high intensity activity. If you're doing low intensity exercise, yes, you will burn a greater percentage of your energy as fat, but you're not actually burning that much in terms of fuel anyway. It's not a huge calorie burn. So I'm just going to reduce the size of my page here so I can see everything properly. Hope you can still see that. Yes. Yeah, so it's not a huge calorie burn. And I know because I was stuck in this pattern. I was stuck in this cycle for years of thinking I just needed to exercise more in order to achieve that weight goal that I was after. But all I did was make myself exhausted. I made myself incredibly exhausted all the time. And it was an absolute struggle just to try and get that body fat off my body. But imagine that you do exercise just a little bit more and you don't eat that. Imagine that you actually start to eat a really low diet. Now, what did I say about most women's BMR? It's at least, now, if you're a little person, it might be 1,200 calories. That's if you're little. Like if you're not little, if you're trying to lose weight, the chances are it's actually more like 1,400, 1,500, 1,600 calories. And so what I see is these people trying to eat a 1,200 calorie diet. That's down here. That's down here. So when your body senses this, what is it doing? Your body is then going to start to adapt to this environment. And it's going to go into survival mode. It is now going to say, holy shit, there is no food. We need to do something to adapt. You might lose some weight initially. Let's just say you might. And so then it tells your brain that, oh, hey, this works. But it's not sustainable in the long term because your body is going to go into that survival mode. And so what is it going to do most? Well, one, you're probably not going to have the energy to do any more here. But it's going to manipulate these figures here, your base metabolic rate and your NEAT. It's going to reduce these so that you are not in so much of a caloric deficit that you don't survive. It is going to slow everything down to conserve energy output. It's saying, like, you're not putting any energy in. So it's going, oh my God, we're in food shortage. We need to go into self-protection mode. So instead of losing more fat, you lose muscle. Your body has to slow this down, has to slow down the 60%, has to slow down that BMR. And so instead of them burning calories efficiently, burning, a great rate of calories while you sleep, while you rest, while you're doing nothing, your BMR tanks. And you start to feel tired all the time. NEAT will reduce. That's the NEAT reducing. Your body's actually forcing you to feel tired. You're not putting the energy in. It's just like not putting fuel in your car. Your car's not going to go very fast if it hasn't got any fuel. Right? It's going to sputter down the road when you run out, just like your body is. You're going to get tired all the time. You'll probably be cold more often of the time because your body actually needs energy to regulate your temperature. You will just naturally move less. You'll be way more sedentary. You might not have the energy for exercise. Also, this is where we start craving food. We have way more cravings, and food noise starts to take over our head. And despite, it doesn't matter how clean or good you think you're eating, that weight may still not budge. And worse, it could go up. It could actually go up. And this is what's really going on here. All right. So this is where we then tend to look at ourselves and say, and blame ourselves. We think that there's something wrong with us, that something's not working inside of our body, like we're doing something wrong, or there's something wrong with our body. And so we think we have to eat even less because when we reduce the calories the first time, our body did respond. But pushing harder doesn't work. And your body's just going to push back because it's built for survival. I want to clearly point this out to you. Our body is this amazing tool that does stuff on its own that we are not consciously in control of. It is built for survival. We have inbuilt programmed survival instincts within our body, survival mechanisms. And this is where so many women get stuck. They think their body is broken. They think they are the problem. But it's not you. It's the very simplistic strategies that you've been taught. All right. And they don't work. We can't just keep reducing calories. You will end up not surviving. You will end up dead. Right? Think about it. People can go and do a water fast at places like True North and they don't die. They're not getting any energy in. But yes, they might lose a heap of weight, but that strategy long term doesn't work. You cannot not eat for the rest of your life. So let's talk about what is happening. As I said, when you undereat, your body is perceiving that threat. So it's like there is danger to your survival. And your body is hardwired for survival. It's programmed to keep you alive. It doesn't care that you have a weight goal. in that moment, you losing body fat is not a survival priority. Holding on to the energy, holding on to that stored energy, and that's all body fat is. It's just a very concentrated, stored form of energy. Holding on to that stored energy is necessary in that moment because you are in a survival state. It thinks you're in food famine. So it slows down your metabolism. It slows down your metabolism by reducing your muscle mass, and it ups your cortisol. It ups your cortisol because you are in a time of stress, and it holds on to that fat, and it burns through that muscle mass to keep you going, to reduce that that base metabolic rate. And when you are in perimenopause or postmenopause, this is amplified because at this time of our lives, our estrogen is dropping. And because our estrogen is dropping, we're storing more body fat anyway, especially around our midsection. Why? Because fat cells produce hormones. They produce estrogen, and with the ovaries producing less estrogen, well, now the body's going, well, now we need to lay down some body fat so that that body fat can produce some of the estrogen that we are going to need in order to keep our bones healthy and strong and avoid osteoporosis. All right, so you can see how the body does its own thing. It's not listening to you and your goals. It's doing its own thing. So this is what does actually happen during this time of our life. And also because also at this time of our life, our muscle mass is naturally declining if we are not doing anything specifically to retain or grow it. And if you're not eating enough food, it's going to disappear faster. So muscle mass is active tissue, and it needs calories in order to maintain it. So think about all of the healthy tissues in your body, all of the healthy, lean tissue in your body. It needs energy just to exist. So you want to think about the energy that way, as you're actually helping your body to survive. Also, not just at this time of our life do we lose muscle mass, but if you have been on a roller coaster of losing body fat and losing and gaining and losing and gaining and losing and gaining, every time you lose, if you are not specifically doing something to retain or grow your muscle mass, you will be losing muscle mass. It's just a natural thing that happens. If you've been taking any of those weight loss GLP-1 activation drugs, 40% of the weight that is lost has been shown to be muscle mass. And so as you lose this muscle mass, your metabolism slows. So if you've had years of yo-yo dieting, you may have also impacted your muscle mass. Also, at this time of our lives, we become way more sensitive to stress, right? Hormones are all over the place. Wow, we get more cranky. And so so our body is already like hypersensitive and has increased cortisol. Cortisol drives fat storage around the middle, right? So even small stresses like undereating can send that body into a stress mode. That's our survival mode. So we want to be really careful of this. Undereating is not the way to go. One of the biggest stresses for our ancestors was, apart from predatory animals, of course, was food shortage. And our primitive brain and primitive body have not adapted to this new, like, plentiful food environment. It still operates with that old program that says we live in food shortage. And anytime it senses food shortage and deprivation, it's going to become very sensitive to that environment, and it's going to respond. So your body's not against you. It is actually trying to protect you. Does that make sense, team? Hope my visual there was helpful for you. I'll take that away now. So what do we do? Well, You need to eat enough to survive, put it that way. You need to eat enough to survive. And I'm not going to put any, people are going to come at me all the time and say, how many calories should I be eating? I don't know. How much oxygen do you breathe? How much oxygen do you breathe? Who knows? But what we need to do is send our body signals of satiety, which equals safety, which equals survival. All right. So what does that mean? That means eating meals that are satisfying and grounding, eating to that satiation point, right? Not to a calorie number. Stop, put away the calorie counters. If you want some calorie awareness, use them. If you want to see your fat percentage, use them. If you're wondering if you're getting enough protein, use it, even though how much protein do you know you really need, right? Most people overestimate, but don't use it to try and hit a calorie number. Eat till you feel comfortably satisfied, right? You still need to hit that caloric deficit, but you can do that with what you put on your plate, how you structure your meals. You can eat in a way that is comfortable, is satisfying. It satisfies your body. It helps your body go, yep, we're done. It turns off the hunger signals. It goes, yep, we've got more than enough food in here. I can sense that in here. We are safe for today. Right? But what you put on the plate will help you get into that caloric deficit. You can still eat volume, but manipulate the calories on that plate by eating lots of low calorie dense vegetables. 1, 2, you got to make sure that you get enough carbohydrates for your energy needs. Yes, whole food carbs, right? Cutting carbs will especially see your energy tank and have your body go, fuck, we haven't gotten enough fuel. If body doesn't get enough carbohydrate fuel, it's going to break down muscle mass to convert to glucose energy. We don't want to impact your muscle mass. That's not what we want to do here with weight loss. You want to make sure you are prioritizing those low calorie dense, nutrient dense plant foods that give you energy and not take it away. So prioritizing those vegetables and the fruits, making sure that you're eating a good volume to keep you full and satisfied and you're getting all the nutrients that your body needs. And then pad it out with your starches on the other side. Make sure you're eating enough starch so you feel satiated for long periods of time. Balance it out. And as much as possible, steer clear of the calorically dense foods that throw your calories into a surplus and then lead to weight gain. And your movement should be about health. It should be about strength, not burning more fuel. And I want you to think of this as the lever that you pull so that your BMR, your base burning rate, goes through the roof so that you get to eat. You get to keep eating lots of food to fuel that fire inside of your body. Yes, putting on muscle mass is a slow process, and you can expect if you are eating lots of food and you are lifting extremely heavy like a bodybuilder and you're in the gym 4 to 6 times a week, you can probably put on about a pound of muscle per month. That's how slow it is, and that's how hard you have to work for that. It is slow, but think of your exercise, think of your strength training as the thing that means you get to keep your muscle mass and your fire in your body burning so that you don't have to keep cutting calories, and impacting your metabolism even more. So when you start eating like this, you're not punishing your body, you are nourishing it. You're not sending it into starvation mode. You are ramping it up. Your metabolism is kicking in. Your energy will skyrocket. You stop obsessing about food 24/7. When we're under eating, guess what? Like, that's where the food noise comes in. I need more energy. I need more food. And guess what? Our body tries to get us to move towards sugar, salt, fat, calorically dense foods. It's what our body thinks we need for survival, right? Because you're not getting enough. At least if you get some calorically dense food in here, I'll be able to survive. All right, that's where we make the mistakes. And if you eat this way as well, your weight will start shifting sustainably without obsession. Okay. I know it sounds very simple, but here's where a lot of people go wrong. All the overthinking, the shitty beliefs that we hold on to. I usually find that many people, especially women, especially women who are under eating, they are somehow holding on to this belief that there is something wrong with them because look at all the evidence. Look, my body won't do this, right? All the evidence in the past. And that's why they can't lose weight, okay? But it's this belief that has led them to subconsciously sabotaging their progress by doing things that don't work. And by not listening to people who are telling them what does. And by not seeking out the support that they need to actually do it the right way. All right. And their obsession with creating that outcome, with creating that result, is because subconsciously they don't think they can do it. So what we want to do is shift all of those underlying unsupportive, shitty beliefs and get back to a place of trusting your body, nourishing your body, also releasing attachment to the outcome, the output, and instead focusing on the inputs or the habits and trusting that the result will come when the inputs or the habits align with the outcome that we desire, that it's coming, instead of looking for evidence that it's not. Right? This is what I teach my clients. This is what I teach my amazing plant-powered clients. And I see a couple of them watching. Hi, Margaret. Hi, Lisa. Good to have you here, my friends. I think Margaret's heard this conversation with me before, haven't you, Margaret? And I help my clients ditch that restriction. I especially when it comes down to like the last 10 pounds or so. It's not about just eating less constantly. It's about fueling the body right. And it's about the right type of movement and eating enough, eating foods that are very high in fiber, low calorie dense, nutrient dense, and making sure that we are really, truly honoring our hunger cues, and we are paying attention to our satiation. Where most people are going wrong, either they're under eating or they've developed these unconscious eating behaviors that are keeping them in a caloric surplus or not getting them into a caloric deficit. All right. So when my clients start taking this approach, they don't just lose weight. They get their energy back. Their skin glows, their digestion is great, like they sleep better. They start to see progress. It's great. It's not about willpower. It's about the right strategy. And it's about helping your body feel safe. It's about, making sure your body is not being thrown into that safety, into that survival mode. All right. It's about supporting your body. All right. So, does anyone have any questions about that? Has anyone been stuck in that old mindset that just eat less is what is going to get you there? Don't get me wrong. Some of you do need to eat less. Some of you need to eat significantly less, and that's okay. But I'm not saying like these low calorie, 1,200 calorie diets. That's where I'm talking about. We do not want to significantly undereat. That's not the way to go here. So drop a comment if you've got any questions, and I'll address that. But if you would if you feel like you have been, if you are at the beginning of your journey, if you are confused about weight loss and where to start, what to do, how to do this, or you know exactly what to do and you're not doing it, or you've fallen off track with your healthy eating and you want some support to get back on track, I'm hosting my next free 5-day training, my next free 5-day challenge in May. Okay, this one is called Stop Dieting, Start Transforming with Plants. And I say PLANTS in capitals because plants is the acronym that I use to describe the method that I use with my clients to help them achieve their goals. All right, so I will be running that again in early May. And through this is a free 5-day challenge or 5-day training. Let's just call it a training. I'm actually going to start calling it a mini course because that's really what it is. I'm going to guide you through those exact habits that I use with my clients to help them achieve weight loss in the right way, without that restriction, without that overwhelm, and certainly without under eating. So what we're going to learn each day, day one, you're going to learn how to set your goals properly so that they inspire you to succeed instead of keeping you in a pattern or a loop of self-sabotage. What I see is that most people do not know how to set a goal and do not know why they want it. And because when people have terrible whys that do not inspire them, they're not painting a picture of what they're really going after. And their whys are based on all the things that they don't want today. And it's the wrong way to do it because that's just going to keep you self-sabotaging. All right. It's going to keep you flip-flopping. You'll start to see some results, then you won't be motivated. So you've got to come back to the start again to be motivated to change again. All right. So we're going to get you out of that trap. Day one, we're going to learn how to set those goals and those whys properly so that you actually start to have a vision to move towards. Day two, you're going to learn how to achieve that calorie deficit without going to the extremes in under eating and ruining all your metabolism. Day three, we're going to learn how to identify and eliminate your overeating habits. So this is where we get into the real heart of your weight loss struggles, okay? For most of you, day two, that probably won't be new news to you, I'm sure, right? Especially for those of you who know what to do and you're just not doing it. Day three is where we're diving deep into all of the shit that leads you to overeating, how to identify and eliminate that. Day four is how to set yourself up for long-term success so that you're ready for any situation. And this is what people don't consider. All right. People just like, oh, yes, I'm fine as long as life is perfect. I can be perfect when life is perfect. Life is never going to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect. So if you learn what you need to do in order to keep yourself going, set yourself up for long-term success, then you won't fall off track. You'll have a system that ensures that you stay on track no matter what happens in your life. And day 5, we are going to look at all the reasons why we subconsciously self-sabotage ourselves and how to stop doing it. All right. This is really important because guess what? 98% of people do not get to their goals. So it's usually because of something subconscious going on. Subconscious beliefs, shitty thinking, fears, doubts, all of these things are in here. And when we can locate them for you, we can know what we're working with and we can start to remove them. So that's what we're doing on day 5, so that you can actually become one of the 2% who succeed. All right. So do you want to be one of the 2% who succeeds? I certainly would like you to be, because I like to shout people's success. I like to tell stories and celebrate people and go, look at what this person does. And I like to, encourage you all to go and get your story told in the Forks Over Knives magazine and really celebrate your success. All right. So, so this challenge is going to be different to many others that you've probably done before. It's going to be slightly different to the ones I've done before, but it's going to be different certainly to how other people run them, because most other people just focus on food, right? I'm focusing on food, habits, mindset, emotions, the way you think about yourself and weight loss, what's really going on in here, right? So we want to bring it back. We want to focus on the stuff that is real for us, so that you can stop being overly obsessed about food rules, all right? So you can actually be learning how to effortlessly achieve weight loss, even if you're not perfect. about how to get rid of the stuff that's really standing in your way. A hint, it's nothing external to you. It's all in here. And this is about getting you real lasting results, all right? It's not about being on a diet. So if you would like to join, we are kicking off on May the 5th, my time. So if you're in the US or Canada, it's May the 4th. It will be 5 Zoom calls over 6 days with me. So it's going to be different a little bit this time, because one of those days I've got clients back to back. And unless you want to be joining me on a call in the middle of the night, let's just not even do that day. We will have live daily teachings and coaching with me. We'll be in a Zoom room together. We'll have daily messenger support so you can get any questions answered in real time. And we'll also have a workbook for you as well to guide you through the event. Yes, you will be doing some things. Yes, you will be making some decisions. Yes, you'll be having some massive ahas. All right. So this workbook is going to help flesh that all out. And that's really good, because then that gives me data, and that gives me data to be able to help you with as well. And I'm going to be there every step of the way to help you break through the things that have been keeping you stuck. All right. So if you would like to join, drop me a comment, May Challenge, in the comments, or better yet, DM me. I'm interested in the May Challenge, and I will send you the details, especially if we are not friends on Facebook. If we're not friends on Facebook, send me a friend request so that you can see all the updates and the stuff that is going on in this group. If we're not friends, you likely won't see that. It won't come up in your feed. And also, I post a lot of stuff that I'm doing in my stories. I'll give you lots of help and support and recipes and stuff like that. I'll show you my food prep and things like that in the stories a lot. So come and, be friends with me on there as well. And I post all sorts of other things in there. Come and let's be friends and let's connect there as well. And that way, also, you'll be able to see the messages that I'm sending you. But if you don't want to be friends, I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to take offense. That's okay. Just make sure if you want to be involved in the challenge that you send me a message. All right. Otherwise, my message will sit in your spam box and you won't be able to join. So spots are limited. So don't wait. The reason I am promoting this so early in advance is because I'm actually going away over Easter, and I'm going to be super busy, and some of that time I'm going to be out of Wi-Fi region. So I'm trying to get in early here and promote this really early. So if you do want to be in, just make sure that you get your name on that list. And I cannot wait to help you make real progress. Let's do it, hey? All right. Thanks for joining me, folks. If anybody has any questions or any comments or anything, please do leave them in the comments here. I'm going to sign off now, and I will come back to those a little later and just check that. I see Lisa's comment here. Does the bar change as we lose weight, BMR? Naturally, yes, Lisa, it does. Yes, naturally, your BMR does reduce a little bit. As I mentioned before, as we lose weight, we lose a bit of muscle mass, unless we are doing something specifically to maintain that muscle mass, all right? So you, I know, are doing some strength training at the moment, but to start with, Morella, I've seen your May challenge. Yep. But to start with, you are doing a lot of walking, which is now why I have encouraged you to start doing some strength training to make sure that you are not losing that muscle mass as you get closer and closer to your goals. And that's what Margaret's doing as well. So Margaret is smashing it out at the gym at the moment, and she's getting stronger. She's noticed she's getting stronger. This is how we know we're putting on muscle mass, or we're improving the strength of our muscles. And that's really just what we want to do. Just make sure that you're constantly challenging your muscles, that you are actually going up in weight. Okay. Don't just pick up the lightest thing don't just be doing these ones. Like if you're throwing this weight around like this, that's not enough. Like that's not challenging your muscles. Challenging your muscles looks like it's doing a Kim Constable grunt. If you've ever listened to her podcast, she starts literally with the sound like that. No, I don't mean you have to do that hard, but I mean you have to challenge your muscles. You have to really stress them in order to force them to grow. And then they become hungry for calories because they need those calories in order to repair and grow. All right. So that's how we can boost up that metabolic rate. So yes, Lisa, yes, your BMR does reduce slightly. Also, think about it like this. the heavier you are. Like Lisa, with the what is it, 52 pounds now that you've lost? Um, those 52 pounds that you've lost, imagine putting those in a backpack and carrying those around every single day, right? Imagine that would be a workout in itself, just carrying that around, right? You would need more energy going into your body just to carry that around every day. You would get way more hungry. So yeah, you take that off and suddenly your body goes, oh, that's better. Now I don't need as much fuel to carry all of that around. All right. So yes, your BMR does reduce slightly. Okay. Hope that answers your question. Beautiful. And Morella, I will reach out to you, my friend, and I will tell you about the May challenge. Look for that message in your inbox or send me a message as well. All right, team, I'm going to sign off now. I hope you enjoyed that. And you won't see me going live next Sunday because it's Easter Sunday. And I am going to the Byron Bay Blues Festival, which is the last festival whoever has been an institution in Australia, and I've been once before and it was amazing. So my friend and I just thought, bugger it, let's just go. It's the last one ever. She's never been to one, and so we're going to that. And then I'm staying up on the Gold Coast because my business coach has an event happening up there. So why not? Let's just get an Airbnb and stay up there. And so but yeah, I will be back to back because I've got to try and now squeeze all of my clients and my coaches' clients into less days. And so I may not have time to come back and do another live before I come back. And then I'm in a conference for a week. So really, this is probably the last live that you will see from me before we go live with the challenge. All right. So unless I have the chance to pop in at some point and do another one in my schedule, but otherwise, have a wonderful Easter, team. V, wow, I used to go to the Blues Fest. It was always great. Yeah. So I'm so looking forward to it again. I had so much fun last time. We actually camped on site last time. And it was an amazing time. So I'm really looking forward to it this time. Anyway, team, I must sign off now. Okay, I will see you later. Have a wonderful Sunday or Monday. And yes, don't forget, May challenge. Let's go.